Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are keying in on a problem not only right here in Atlanta, but all across the world. There's an issue of low access to education, safety, and healthcare and dietary in underserved neighborhoods. I am Scott Miner, and without further ado, let's hear all about exactly what's going on. Although Jalen Benson's grandfather may have only achieved up to a second grade level education, Benson's mother did her absolute best in placing Benson in higher learning schools and programs growing up. Benson is now a senior at Morehouse College and is steps away from achieving academic excellence.
So my first 2 years of high school, I went to a predominantly white high school, which was a Catholic school, and it was a high-level education. And unforgettable experience was, my mom is a single parent. She withdrew me from that school just because of financial situation, which was a financial burden, and had to transfer me into my home school, which I was located at the time.
Jalen's mother, a single mother raising multiple kids, should not have to struggle to provide adequate access to education for such children, as no parent should at all. This problem is an issue for many underserved neighborhoods in America and throughout the world. Next, you will hear Ms. Blanche Payne of the Josephine and Evelyn Lowry Institute.
Now, typically, there's lots of studies that have shown that students that drop out of high school or drop out of middle school in some instances end up in jail, incarcerated. The incarceration rate goes up because people who are not well educated typically can't get decent jobs and end up, in many instances, not at all, but in many instances end up in committing crimes or choosing a life of crime to sustain their life and lifestyle.
The problems of education, safety, and healthcare and dietary all tie together when it comes to young people and students. They all must be prioritized because each issue affects the other. Here's what Ms. Blanche Payne had to say about how these issues are connected.
Yeah, well, you can't learn if you're hungry. You can't sit in a classroom at any level, from kindergarten through college. You cannot concentrate when you're hungry. When you don't have the proper nutrition and diet, your brain does not function properly. You're cloudy. You are, you cannot achieve without food and nutrition. And safety, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you definitely understand how important it is to feel safe and comfortable in your environment. And if you're someplace where you feel unsafe or safety is an issue, then it creates a level of anxiety, which then affects our mental health. Your mental health then affects your ability to learn.
An approach that has been proven to be a key factor in limiting the issue of low access is by showing these young people hands-on where they can find better access to education, safety, and healthcare dietary. By tackling the issue early, it can shift their worldview and they can properly prepare for the future, knowing that opportunities are out there.
One of the programs that the Lowry Institute conducts is within the Atlanta public school system. We are one of the few organizations that has the ability to go into schools during the school day, meaning we don't have to be an after-school program. We can actually impact students during their normal academic time.
According to the Georgia Early Education Alliance for Ready Students, children who attend high-quality early learning programs are more likely to graduate high school, have a job, and even have higher wages. And they are less likely to drop out of high school, depend on social services, or be arrested.
But I just don't feel that at any point in this country, as much money as we are able to send outside of this country, as much money as we're able to send for wars and acts of violence, if we were able to keep all that money domestically or some of it domestically, we should be able to deal with food insecurity, housing. There should be nobody sleeping under a bridge or on the side of a highway, as well as students should be educated properly to be achievers.
Through all the circumstances and adversity, Jalen Benson and his family have overcome this problem of low access. So to wrap things up, let's hear some advice Benson has for anyone looking to seek higher education for themselves as well.
I think the advice that I would give, somebody who doesn't have the proper education or the lack of resources for education, I feel like reading on your own time, being able to pick up a book finding the interest in you, or just finding things that's going on in the world that you could read on and be able to speak on, have conversations about.
The program Ms. Blanche Payne and the Laureate Institute is running here in Atlanta can help students all across the world if applied there too. And thankfully for Benson, higher education programs, great support, and a will to learn has brought him steps away from walking across the stage as a well-educated Morehouse man. Thank you for watching this episode of the Community Responsive Reporting Project. Make sure you think about what was discussed and how you may be able to tackle social injustice in spaces you are connected as well. Peace.